This is the heart of Beijing. Skyscrapers, shops, people, traffic. I know the city well. It's where I live and work. There are moments when I just accept that this is the China we have. At other moments, I remember China hasn't always been like this. Absolute poverty is history in China. To achieve that, the country has been dispatching expertise to impoverished areas to help with local development. In most cases, it's a 2 or 3 year assignment, or maybe a little longer. But one man has been doing this for 27 years, hundreds of kilometers away from home. I can't imagine how he did it, was my first response. What supported him and his family for so long? What have they gone through? I'm going to find out. Saturday morning, 6:15. It was not easy to catch Zheng Fuping at home, 800 kilometers away from where he works in southern China. Every year he spends less than 30 days with his wife and daughter. Maybe that explains why he looks like a guest here. My visit didn't seem to make things any different. He finished his breakfast within half an hour before setting out for some academic engagement.你们3个人要是重新住到一起的话，可能也不习惯了要。
不习惯，但是还好。
His family seems to have gotten used to his absence, but it took a long time.
在他灭Fuping之前，就这么几张相片，3口之家照的。他去的时候呢，他就想法把我和女儿给带去了。 他就让我们亲手感受一下，我们娘俩就被震撼了。茅草屋，四面都是黑黑的，锅台呀，就是一个搭2片砖呐，上面放了一个黑色的铝罐呐，那也没有床，就是这个垫的青草啊，就是搭了一个破布，上面就那么睡呀。我就问我老公，我说你准备住多少年呢？他说的我尽量赶，我尽量的回来吧。 最困难的时候就是晚上疼的时候，想喊一个人都没有，心想我恨死了他了，回来就跟他离婚。
我爸爸也从来没有出现过，然后同学也会讲说，你是不是孤儿啊？那时候内心也比较脆弱，很敏感哦，就是很委屈。
I waited for Zheng to talk to himself, but he wasn't home until very late. The next morning, he was busy again. There was no chance to interview him at his home. So the plan was to follow him all the way to his workplace in Guangxi in southern China. Zheng's life is full, as he has many roles: a poverty relief expert, an agricultural scientist, a deputy county mayor, and etc. I had prepared to use every opportunity possible to interview him. At times, things got a little complicated. 悬崖呀！
把那边有个坑，要不然我们下去看看。
Zheng seems quite hardened to all the glitches on the road. His wife told me he had survived 3 car crashes. Nearly half of Huanjiang is covered by what's known as karst landscape, a topography formed from the dissolution of soluble rocks. Since ancient times, rock desert, soil erosion, and degradation of plants make the local ecosystem particularly vulnerable. Compounded by the lack of transportation, Huanjiang was once among the country's poorest regions. After he first arrived here in June 1994, Zeng and his team scouted around the county for a solution. They tried various projects. But sometimes a good intention doesn't pay off right away.
矿路高面还有我们去江南那个丘陵坡的水土流失，它是以坡面径流为主的。但是我们喀什的地区是不一样的，它的水土流失是以垂直漏势为主的，漏下去像漏斗一样的，为了减少它的漏势，要减缓这个土壤的扰动。
那就别在上面干什么活动了。
对呀、但是你也想到这个人地方水里要养活1万人呢，他要吃饭呢，所以我们布局的一些产业，既能减少那个土壤扰动，减少水土流失，同时还能发展一些产业，能够提高群众的收入。你比如说，我们最开始我搞生物化治理的时候，我们把苗木角送过来，老百姓来了以后，你们共产党骗我骗的太多了。 你们厂里一直骗我们的，所以现在必须你们都出钱啊！出钱我看有没有收入。当时听到这话脑袋瓜子就像那个火一样的。后来，结果这个事情种下去弄完以后，慢慢的我们跟他结合了，他也理解我们了，就是这个牧草一样的，到处是草还要种嘛。他不理解我们这个草是优质牧草，蛋白质含量高，适口性又好，不是那个野草。在我们弄过来，他又不要，哎呀，我们没办法。 后来我是出来弄，我亲自示范，然后走群众工作，走那个大户有积极性的撑杆带头，从那第2年他们尝到甜头了。
到了。
下去了。来，你搁这里。
怎么割？
靠这边上吧。你这个镰刀
不快。
对。
我来试试。
注意点啊，不要手用力拉不。 啊，你砍锅子，
哎呀，那你拿这个，为什么我砍不下来呢？
The farmer told me before Zeng came, he had 2 to 3 cows. He wanted to raise more, but had no idea how. Zeng broadened their horizon. Here, like every time we passed the forage during the visit, I could tell how proud Zeng is. His expertise and ideas made a real difference for the locals.
放掉，一会进去。
他要在这里面吃。
对呀。
曾老师看到这些牛长得这么壮，开心吗？吃着您给引进来的牧草。
Zeng Fuping is happy that his expertise were put to good use. But with 40% of the local areas covered in unforgiving rocks, he had to be realistic and pragmatic. Soon after he arrived here, he made a bold proposal. If land can't feed people, it's better to move them out. 2 years later, he led 513 men and women out of the mountains to resettle in Kengfu, near the county seat. There, they restarted their lives from scratch. Liu Xin was among the first to follow. This was the first time in a while that Zeng was able to visit Liu here. They seemed to know each other like family.
这怎么黄啊？
全新啊！过去你们是专家，现在给我们讲课，我讲一天的。
现在是你是专家了。
Beyond knowledge, Zeng believes the key to ending poverty is a change in mindset. That's why his team never tried to solve problems by giving money or supplies directly. Instead, they provided know-how, technology, loans, and motivation. Change was hard, especially during the early days.
太穷了，实在没有油了， 那就更慢一点，回肉啊，那个油了以后，那得点油炸了吃，有几多一次啊，实在困难的，想逃走了。有政府他们呢，每一天他都来鼓励我们呢，再苦再累，你们要坚持下来。
Liu's home is quite spacious today, with 3 floors. He has built an even bigger house in his hometown. His children are also doing well. He started to put his experiences on paper so that they will be remembered.
现在想起来，好像是故事，实际上是我们走过来的经过。
曾老师，您看过这个吗？
我没有给他看，前面几十年的经历，一下子写不完的。用我们本地的3个来表达我们的。
湖南来个曾教授，一心为民解忧愁。当初百姓多穷苦，脱贫致富他带头，百姓走上小康路，好似云开见日头。有缘得会曾教授，一生幸福永无忧，好似桃园3结义，结下情谊寄千秋。拍张合影，笑一点。
Since the Kenfu project, 100,000 more villagers moved out of remote areas, making Huanjiang the county with the largest number of ecological migrants in China. In 2019, the practice was dubbed the Kenfu model by UNESCO experts. But Zheng is still vigilant.
我们脱贫标准很3000多块钱，脱贫的这个成效，脱贫的这个表观出来的这些数据都不是很高，这一部分是很容易返贫的，很容易掉队的。
I followed him to another project he once worked on, a migration project for Maonan people, an ethnic minority group living in Huanjiang. With some 60,000 people in total, they used to be struggling under the extreme poverty line. In May 2020, the entire Maonan group shook off extreme poverty. Zheng was in charge of taking some of them out of the deep mountains to modern villages like this one. These bamboo hats were once used as rain hats by the Maonan people. As an icon of the group's skillful craftsmanship, they are now on the list of China's intangible cultural heritage. In Maonan culture, they are a symbol of bliss and a happy life. Zheng wants to make sure their lives can be even better. After introducing me to the village leader, they started to talk about work, which means I had to give way again, and I'm glad to. During the 4 days I followed him, we actually talked a lot on our way here and there. He's a very talkative man when it comes to work and research, but when I occasionally touched upon his family, his words were brief.
家里人的要求啊什么的也没法考虑，还是说考虑？
那没办法，那肯定必须要做牺牲的。
有没有想过一个折中的办法？
你要顾到那里，这里要干活，你说你行吗？你大象换个地方，你这个不是做研究，你爱上了这一行，你就不能放弃。
Zheng never found the time to sit down with me for an interview, but it doesn't matter now. I think I got it.
最初的一幕，你缠着我学走第一步，最后的一幕。
The name of the song is Dad. Zheng's daughter remembers when she sang it for him on his birthday. He told her, "You've grown up." 回家的时候是归宿。
现在不想离婚了。
现在不想了，觉得我的付出吧也还值得。